Judge Narens presiding. Today's first hearing, the class action suit of Davenport Student Body v. Davenport University. Kaylee Phillips speaking on behalf of the prosecution.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here today to determine the legality and the legitimacy of Davenport's policy to force students to use the turnitin.com service. The prosecution will show that the policies of turnitin.com and Davenport combine in such a way as to infringe upon our copyrights.
The defense calls its first witness, Nathan Neal, and after portraying an employee of turnitin.com's parent company iParadise, Mr. Neal, please step up to the bench.
Mr. Neal, place your hand on the Bible, your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I'm an atheist.
All right, then. Prosecution is all yours.
Thank you.
So, the bench, please. All right. Please tell us about the company you're representing today, Mr. Neal.
Turnitin.com is a reputable service that allows educators to check students' work for improper citation or potential plagiarism by comparing it against continuously updated databases. Every originality report provides instructors with the opportunity to teach their students proper citation methods, as well as to safeguard their students' academic integrity.
Describe this database for us, please.
Turnitin.com uses a database of files and papers archived from the publicly accessible internet, commercial books, newspapers, and journals, as well as millions of students' papers submitted to Turnitin.com.
And how is this information being used?
Turnitin checks a student's paper against a database and looks for plagiarism. Similarity between the student's work and archived work is pointed out to the instructor in the form of originality reports.
And what happens if the student's paper, what happens to the student's paper after it's checked for plagiarism?
It's added to our database.
And what if the student doesn't want it to be added to your database?
Turnitin's terms of service state that when a student submits a paper to grant, they grant iParadigm the use of that work for the purposes of digital fingerprinting. The Fourth Circuit Appeals Court already ruled on this. What we are doing is perfectly legal.
May I remind the court that Turnitin.com is not on trial here today. We are discussing whether or not Davenport can force students to use your service. Does your service allow students to be taken down if they file a DMCA notice and they no longer wish to participate?
No, we do not recognize the legitimacy of DMCA takedown notices by students.
And what if a paper is added to your database by a teacher or by your internet scanning service?
We can't be held responsible for what students put online. At any rate, with our service, teachers have students submit their own papers directly.
Objection! I have here in my hands a press release from Wesleyan University. It instructs its educators to submit papers without students' knowledge or consent. And it also states that they should strip the students' accreditation information from the document first in order to circumvent any prosecution due to FERPA laws. I submit this evidence as Exhibit A.
You see, fair use provisions protect this sort of use of student material.
Fair use? Turnitin.com profits from copyrighted creative work. If a student did the same with musical fingerprints on a CD, they'd be sued even if their work wasn't for profit.
The usefulness of the service justifies any complaints. Besides, the courts ruled in Morse versus Frederick that students' rights in public schools are not coextensive with the rights of adults in other settings, and the students' rights must be taken in context of special characteristics of the school environment.
But this isn't a public school, is it? Davenport is a privately run college. Besides, that ruling was made regarding high school students subjected to your service, not adults in other settings. Additionally, the usefulness of that service is questionable. Any instructor legitimately hired should be able to tell if a student's writing styles change dramatically.
It makes the process easier for teachers and allows them to catch all the students who are cheating the system.
What you mean is that it encourages academic laziness. On behalf of the faculty, I have here an account of a student being flagged as 10% plagiarized because they had his paper too closely resembling his own blog. I present the court with Exhibit B. As you can all clearly see, the American principles of innocent until proven guilty have been replaced by the system of guilty until proven innocent. No further questions, Your Honor.
As this is a sham of a trial, the defense isn't represented at all, and Nathan admitted to being an actor. Very fine one, too. The court asks that you proceed directly to closing statements. This has gone on long enough already. Mr. Land, person.
Thank you, Your Honor. Men and women of the jury, by forcing the students of Davenport, by forcing us to submit papers to turnitin.com, they are violating our trust, our rights, and our integrity. Taking away our work, even a little, even for legitimate purposes, and profiting from it without our consent is a violation of our DMCA-granted rights. We are treated as guilty before our papers are even examined by a teacher for grading based on merit of work, and the system is both inaccurate and exploitable. If we are unable to enact legislation in a fake courtroom, then we should make our stance known to the governing body of this establishment and let them know that we will not turn it in. The defense rests.
Well, Land, you just need to loosen up.